胸につけてるマークは流星自慢のジェットで敵を撃つ光の国から僕らのために来たぞ我らのウルトラマン
Poor Pigmon. He just cannot catch a break, can he?
No.
Poor baby. I feel so bad for him. He's such a cutie wootie. And yet he has to experience these horrible vicissitudes. That is the UltraQuest podcast here on the Morphin Network. And yes, we are here to discuss the final batch of episodes of the original Ultraman series, episodes 37 through 39.
Yep, just 3 episodes this time.
Yep, and it's the finale. Yeah, because there's only 39 episodes instead of 40.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a ride, and yes, I can officially say yes, I finally finished watching the original Ultraman.
And this is my 3rd time watching it.
And how did it feel?
Well, the first time I watched it was 2009. The second time was 2011. So, I haven't seen it in 14 years. So it felt fresh to see it again, and seeing it this time on Blu-ray rather than DVD. And, the quality did look better. And, it's a fun show. We'll get to ratings.
Did it feel like an Xbox 360 cutscene? Because because having that 240p translated into 1080p with 30 frames per second. Yeah, it's crazy. I remember when I first saw Naked Gun on Blu-ray, I'm like, this feels like an Xbox cutscene. Because the movements are way too fluid for the, that film texture.
Yeah.
You know how, like movies have, this texture to them where, you could tell what decade they're from?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this movie definitely feels like it's from the 80s. And yet, it moves smoothly like it's from the late 2000s. What the hell is going on here? Yeah, it just feels weird. I cannot imagine what that must feel like. I mean, I watched this on the official Ultraman channel, because on YouTube you can actually watch most seasons of Ultraman for free, subbed. The way we dreamed YouTube would be for other shows, but never was.
Yeah.
The good old days back when you had to watch Bokenger episode 1, part 1 of 3, and then Tusku 1, part 1 of 3, Tusku 1, part 2 of 3, Tusku 1, part 3 of 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then you move on to Tusku 2, part 1 of 3.
And so on.
And so on, until you get to Tusku 49. Part 3 of 3, and then you get to Geki Ninja Lesson 1. Yeah, but it would stop at 27 before YouTube's really cracking down on that, and then you switch to Crunchyroll
or VO.
Yeah, VO is where I went to after Crunchyroll decided to go legit.
I just watched Toku back on VO back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, VO is how I watched Decade. Specifically Decade. Oh, and the second half. Well, actually, not even the second half. Episodes 9 onward of Kiva. Yeah. Man, thinking back, it's really hard to believe, how exactly did I actually watch Kamen Rider up until 2013. like up to 2013, how exactly did I watch Kamen Rider? Because like it really like thinking back on it, it does really feel dumbfounding because we had no official channels. You didn't have good enough computers to trust the Go Kaijers, wink wink, nudge nudge. Yeah. But so it's like, how did we do it? How did we do it? Yeah. But yeah, so here we are. We're finishing up Ultraman. It's so hard to believe.
Yeah, but the description says go Juger.
Oh, shoot. Go Juju. See, I'm the number one at screwing things up. But you can't screw up harder than me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I've been showing my friend Car Ranger, and there's a line of dialogue to where they have Dapu and Zelmolda. They're about to kill him with a guillotine. No, a pendulum.
Yeah.
And Zelmolda says to him, "I hope you go to heaven." And we're both like, thank you. It's like if someone's about to kill you and say, I hope you go to heaven, do you thank them for that or what?
I mean, like, if it's a villain saying that, like, it means absolutely nothing because it's like, because either way, they plan on killing you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it'd be more insulting if they said, I hope you go to hell, but.
Yeah.
But, like.
But the thing is that they're saying, I hope you go to heaven. It's like, thank you?
Because like, even in Rich the Third, like, Richard says, poor, simple Clarence, I do love thee so much so I'd sooner send you to thy creator.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, he wants to send Clarence to heaven, but the thing is, like, the context is that he's sending him to heaven in a much shorter amount of time than he's expected to arrive.
Yeah.
Premium shipping of death. Yes. Speaking of premium deaths, poor Pigmon.
Oh yes, we'll get to that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it outright. It's a little it's a little avant. But having watched all three of these episodes, I mainly have two issues with this batch of episodes, and the first being is that they're not really jointed together. It's like you're expecting a buildup, especially with the revelation we get from Pigmon in the first of three episodes. So you're hoping that they're gonna be connected to some extent, but they're not. The latter two could have even been a two-parter, but they weren't. The other issue is, given the climacity, made up word, not a real word, of how the episodes ended, I honestly feel like the Pigmon episode should have been the last episode instead of the anti-penultimate one.
Yeah, because in this episode, Pigmon warns the SSSP that Geronimon is reviving kaiju, so you kind of think like he'd be the final kaiju to fight, but he isn't.
Yeah, heck, like they could have even tied this to like that the Drygearus episode.
Yeah, they could have.
Yeah, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but they didn't. That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Yeah, and so like if they did do these three episodes in order, here's how they should have done it. Like have them have Pigmon give that warning about Geronimus or whatever.
Geronimon.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him Geronimus Prime. and then like in the fall, and then in episode 38, they are gonna go out to space like they're supposed to, but then it's revealed that the kaiju of the episode turns out to be Geronimus Prime. And then while they're in space, it's gonna be revealed that Geronimus was actually a diversion. So to lure the SSP out into space while the Zetons and Boltons could like invade Earth while it's unprotected by the SSSP and Ultraman.
Mm.
Now, to be clear, the Boltons are not in these 3 episodes. But I'm just saying, if you're going to include the Zetons, you may as well add another episode of Boltons.
You could have, yeah.
Yeah, like this would have been like a proper Power Rangers type 3-part finale. Like we've seen like really good seasons do.
Yeah.
Yeah, lure the Rangers away while the main villain goes out to play. But yeah, so you got a department store that's being terrorized by a simple, adorable little Pigmon minding its own business. You even see a Pigmon doll in one of the shelves.
Yeah,
along
figure.
with Red King.
Yeah, with Red King and Kanegon.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, was Kamegon even in the season?
No, but he was in Ultra Q.
Yeah, I know he was in Ultra Q, so it's like, it's like you'd think as someone who reviewed the previous 36 episodes I would have remembered something like that. And yet I don't. And rightfully so, because it never happened in the last 36 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, in the 28 episodes before that, well, we'll get to that eventually. And in the words of Alexander Emerson, and we are doing this. But yeah, the SSP show up. It's like, oh my god, it's Pigmon. He's so adorable. Oh my god, is that the same Pigmon from that earlier episode? Oh my god, he remembers us. So I'm like, wait a minute, didn't Pigmon die in that one episode?
Yeah.
But then you remember. Oh yeah, Geronimus Prime is reviving kaiju. So it stands to reason that Pigmon was among the kaiju that were already revived.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, everyone comes to terms that Pigmon's trying to say something, but they don't know what because they don't speak kaijuese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kaiju go desu ka? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, they have a scientist record his voice day in, day out, having another manic Monday, smoking cigarettes inside a laboratory, which he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But in the dead of the night, we would get a bunch of kaiju fighting each other, including like freaking Gator Face.
Oh yeah, Teleston.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teleston and Dorico start fighting each other.
Yeah. Oh man, kaiju should not be fighting. Not like this. Yeah, and yes, we even get to see Pigmon riding in a car, and it's the cutest thing ever. Okay, I'm just gonna make it really simple. Anything Pigmon does is automatically adorable. It's like being Nappa. Everything I say is hilarious, and you'll quote everything I say.
Yeah.
Yes. Extremely hilarious, derailing one-liner. Vegeta, why? Because I'm a Pigmon. No, I'm not a Pigmon. Now the kid's a Pigmon. Yeah, so we have to move out. We take Pigmon with us to the island of Lost Kaiju, which is just yet another quarry for like the kaiju to fight in.
Yeah.
And poor Pigmon is being adorable. It's like, guys, I'm really concerned. Like, it's really dangerous out here. And and also we have a subplot about Ida being upset because it's like, no matter how much I invent, Ultraman still is the one that defeats the kaiju. I'm like, but what about that one time when Tachibana threw that sapphire at a stag beetle kaiju?
Well, Hayata even mentions that to Ide.
Exactly. I'm glad he does. Or that other time when they used those spider shots to destroy that other kaiju.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah, it's not always Ultraman. The SSSP still contribute.
Yeah, like sometimes you need the SSP to like be a mild irritant for Ultraman to escape from a grapple.
Yeah.
Roll over and Spacian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, it even gets to the point to where they're trying to fight against the kaiju. Oh, and Ide just keeps calling out for Ultraman. It's like, why aren't you showing up? And Hayata's like, Ide, now's not the time.
Yeah. Also, I think Hayata just wants Ide to prove himself.
Yeah.
Like defeating the kaiju without Ultraman's help. But this ends up costing them to some degree because it's cool that like you could have 3 SSP members do like a triple shot.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it's not as cool as they make it sound to be, but you can't argue with the results.
Yeah.
It's like if they combine their weapons in a manner similar to how Super Sentai use their combined weapons, do the Flash Vulcan thing.
Yeah.
Where
Rolling Vulcan?
Yeah. Where it's like you get like a bigger spider shot, you attach 4 other spider shots to it, and it's like
yeah.
Or in the case of Dawn Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it gets to the point to where, Pigmon comes out and is trying to distract the kaiju, and then Doriko outright just slaps him, just smacks him and crushes him.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's like watching Lyanna Mormont fight that one giant in Game of Thrones season 8. It's like you really do feel bad for them. Went out like a gangster, but still, it hurts. Kaiju should not be fighting.
It gets to the point to where Hayata just, grabs Ide and is like, "Look what happened." Pigmon just sacrificed himself for the cause, and then he actually outright slaps Ide.
Yeah, it's like you are a member of the SSSP. Like, no matter how useless it is, you have to follow through on your mission. Even Arashi, went out like a gangster in the previous episode, where when what's his name? Hayata was blind.
Yeah,
and he basically went full kamikaze to destroy that one kaiju, and then the episode ended with him repeating his oath as a member of the SSSP. It's like, yeah, Arashi knew his mission, but Pigmon, he had no business being there, but he chose to complete the mission. It's like when Pigmon turns Pigmon around, and Pigmon gives him those eyes. It's like watching Rufio die all over again. It's like, I want to go home. I miss my parents.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah, no, I felt the two, I would have to say the 2 deaths that hurt me the most in this series were Jiros and Pigmon. They did not deserve what they got.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what Alucard said. He deserved a lot more in life than what his savior got him, a life of piety, and this is what it brought him. To sacrifice his personhood is what Tsuburaya has taught him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the kaiju that stomped him.
Yeah,
I like making things because it's fun.
Yeah, so Ide gets a new weapon and abnormally shoots the kaiju, and he abnormally comes apart.
Like a puzzle piece.
Yeah.
It's like watching that Superman Great Wall of China vision in reverse.
Yeah.
To which I have to ask the question, why didn't you do this sooner?
Because the plot demands it?
Curse you, plot!
Yeah, so then eventually Geronimon shows up. Then Hayata finally turns into Ultraman, and then they fight. And Geronimon is shooting multicolored feathers into Ultraman's chest and back.
Yeah, turns out Geronimus Prime has Native American powers that could be best described as that of a Mega Man boss fight.
Yes.
God damn it, Geronimus. And of course, so Ultraman's best bet is to send him to the well of sparks. Because freedom is the right of all sentient life.
Yes.
Ultraman, 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 Ultraman. Ultraman wages his battle to destroy the evil forces of the kaiju.
Ultraman.
Ultraman. And then he just rips out all the feathers on his head, and all of a sudden he unlocks a new power. He uses freaking Ark's mirror move technique.
Oh yeah, the Ultra Shield. A lot of Ultramen can do that.
Yeah, but we've
Granted,
never
they
seen
had different
this before.
styles of doing it, but yeah.
It's why didn't you use mirror moves sooner? Yeah, so Ultraman's about to get crushed by Geronimus' body, which I'm why don't you just throw him into space like you normally would?
But yeah, he picks him up, and then Ide is the one who basically shoots him apart with his new invention.
Yeah, and so Ide gets the win. But again, it would be nice to say, oh, Geronimus Prime was just the baby. Wait, if that's the baby, where's the mama Geronimus? And it cuts to space.
Yeah.
We can't have nice plot points. But in good old Digimon fashion, we gotta bury the friends we made along the way. This one's Wizardmon. That one's Pixiemon. That one's Chumon. And this one is for Waymon. I'm aren't you missing someone? What about Bukamon? Remember Bukamon and Chumon? There was two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think there was more. But yeah, no. But for real though, it's what's it called? Expect a lot more gravestones like Leomon and a whole army of Nunamon. Yeah. No, no, seriously, I can't believe Mimi gets entire character arc off screen.
Yeah. Yeah, but as far as Pigmon goes, it was they have his body and then they give him a moment of silence, and it's just kind of a downer ending for the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a real downer. It was God damn it. I remember I was watching a thing where someone died. Well, it was a creature that died. So then they made a burial for it. Can't remember what it was exactly that I was watching, but it was really sad. No, it wasn't Call of the Wild. It wasn't White Fang. Was it a bear that died? Was it in a video game cutscene? Was it a TV show? A movie? I remember watching something recently, but I don't remember what it was. If it turns out to be Ultraman all over again, I'm gonna be really upset. But I remember someone being viscerally upset. And rightfully so. But yeah, moving on to the next episode. I'm gonna be honest, of the three, this one's probably the most boring.
A little bit.
Yeah, so it starts off with a space station investigating planet Q. Gee, I wonder what the Q stands for. Question. It stands for question. And then a rover. Then a rover like glances over at an eye and just uses solar flare. It's like, oh no, Frieza coming out of the shower. Yeah, so the entire space crew goes blind. Imagine if that happened in the opening sequence for Tiga Take Me Higher. Because you know how like there's like that one clip of like a close up of Kaiju's eye like squinting, like
Yeah.
Imagine if that was this kaiju. Yeah, so
yeah, that's very insectoid looking kaiju.
Yeah, but not insectoid enough. See, that's how boring this episode is. So everyone flies into space and they investigate the BSL research station and find a gelatinous parasite known as X. Wait, hold on. That's not the plot of Ultraman. That's the plot of Metroid 4. My script. I just got my script mixed up. But yeah, so like they're looking around. So they're looking around for any survivors, and they just so happen to find Jasper. Jasper, are you okay? Jasper, it's so great that you're alive. See, if you're a real Power Rangers fan, you know who Jasper is. Only real Power Rangers fans know who Jasper is. Yeah. Speaking of, funny enough, I actually met him in my very first Morphicon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 2010. Yeah. Yeah, too bad he didn't have any like posters of himself actually dressed up as Jasper. Is he still alive? I'm curious. Oh, I'm just curious. Yeah. Hold on. No, not that. Hold on. Here we go. See, you have two actors with the same name. Both were on Fox. One on Fox Kids, the other on Fox Primetime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's still not the same dude. That's in. Oh wait, it's because the thing automatically added an O in the middle of his name. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Please still be alive. Please still be alive. I hope he hasn't passed away because I can't afford two extra skeletal muscle-looking dudes passing away. Doesn't say. It doesn't say. If you're still alive, please come to Morphicon next year. No, seriously though, like freaking Jasper's like probably one of my favorite minor characters from the original era.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that episode where Trakina turns into a human. Or that other episode where Leo sneaks aboard into like into a space shuttle. Or that other time when Leo is legally entering a different space shuttle.
Yep.
Very, very vague, but accurate.
Yeah.
Description. Yeah. But yeah, no, like freaking Ed, you are a jewel. But yeah, so yeah, they rescued Jasper and it's revealed that we were all blinded, but we only have 23 hours in order to go to Planet Q and replace some kind of part.
Yeah. So the SSSP goes down there and does it for them.
Yeah. Yeah, so interestingly, you have a turtle kaiju in space fighting against an arthropodal kaiju, and I'm thinking, why does this feel familiar? And then it flashes its lights to cause severe trauma. Wait a minute. This is really coming familiar. An arthropodal kaiju using light in order to traumatize a turtle kaiju in space. Where have I seen this before? Down here, everything floats. No! No! No,
Oh gosh,
please.
is the insectoid kaiju it?
No, it's Pennywise. They're fighting Pennywise. It all makes sense now.
That's what I mean, Pennywise.
Does that mean that in order to repair the space station, everyone has to get with Fuji? That's just wrong.
No, just no.
No. Eat it maybe, but no. No. Oh no, please don't. No, this is the worst.
Ultraman, kill it.
Literally, kill it. Yeah, but in space, everything floats, and no one can hear you scream. Yeah. So they take her over, and they see the turtle kaiju, and the insect kaiju, and the insect kaiju blinds some of the characters.
Yeah, it blinds Arashi.
Yeah, and it deliberately tries to make a rock slide happen. Like, with absolute intent, it's aiming the flow of the rocks.
Yeah, trying to stop the rover from getting away.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's up to Hayata and Ide to save the day. And basically, Ultraman fights the kaiju, and yes, it uses its deadlights.
And that somehow doesn't blind Ultraman, but...
Yeah, we've seen Ultraman get blinded before.
Yeah, we did in a previous episode.
So it's weird that he isn't now, but it's like, it's okay. I got silver batteries.
Yeah. And then, so they fight, and then eventually the Specium Beam doesn't work on him. So Ultraman
he does the saw blade thing, and it just does a ring toss with its tail.
Yeah. So he pulls this new move out of nowhere in the second to last episode to where he holds his hands and makes spirals, and then they come together, and somehow that defeats the kaiju.
It makes no sense. Like, if it was that new move that he made earlier, where it's where he shoots that thing from his arm, okay, but it looks different. Oh, but somehow it gives him telekinetic powers.
I mean, we've seen him use telekinetic powers before, like on Red King.
Yeah, it's still weird, because he doesn't always use it.
Yeah.
But with 5 minutes to spare, they rescue the BSL research station. Yeah, you could even hear the timer go bam 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 bam. 5 minutes to detonation. 5 minutes to detonation. That's right. I've played a lot of Metroid. And as it turns out, playing Prime on the Switch isn't that easy because the screen, ironically, is very tiny. It's you'd think, oh, well, it's the Switch. What do you expect? But it's I've been able to play Bayonetta on Infinite Climax, no problem on the Switch. Of course, no matter what, your palms are going to be dead. Yeah, so everyone's drinking coffee and having smokes on the research station. I'm like, you sure you should be having smokes in a research station in space?
Yeah.
That just feels weird. And as I said before, this would be a perfect opportunity for some kaiju to invade, like the Boltons or the Zetons, or some other invasive species. Ooh, like those plant dudes. Because Literally, the entire squad from the SSSB is missing. This is the perfect opportunity to invade, but no, the Zetons wait until after they return.
Yep, how convenient.
Because we move on to the final episode of not just this batch of episodes, but the finale of the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. This is it. Here we are. This is the end. Yeah. So a bunch of flying saucers are spotted heading towards Earth. And yes, the professor was like, "Oh yeah, flying saucers appeared since the 1930s, but but this is a full-scale invasion. I'm not suspicious at all." Are you trying to do a red herring? I don't know. I hope my wife is cooking some though. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a fish guy, but I'm especially not a herring guy. I know it's in my culture to make pickled herring, 7-layer shuba, but nah, fam. This is why I eat food of almost every culture outside of my own.
Yeah, I'm not a fish guy either.
Yeah. Thankfully, a lot of places in Japan are for beef enthusiasts. Otherwise, I'd be really upset because it's like, oh yeah, that one country known for pickled fish is gonna have a lot of things that are not fish.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Mm-hmm. So they destroy a bunch of Air Force ships that try to intercept them. So yay. This goes just like literally any other episode, if we're being honest. And yes, we leave Fuji alone because she's a communications officer. And yes, the professor conveniently is being strangled out by a mysterious entity and is shoved into a locker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Fuji is attacked by the professor, naturally, and all of her communications equipment is destroyed. So now we're going in blind.
Yeah, basically, the Iwamoto pulls a gun literally out of nowhere and starts shooting like their radio.
Yeah. But then thankfully the crew is here. I call them the crew, by the way. So I've heard. And they intercept Iwamoto, who reveals himself to be a Zeton in a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dress for the job that you want, not the kaiju that you have. Yeah. So yeah, he gets murked like instantaneously. Zeton. All right, we're halfway through the episode because a giant egg shows up, and it hatches into, well, Zeton, like the way we've seen him in Ultraman X.
Yep.
You know, there's a certain perspective here because here Zeton is the final boss, while in Ultraman X he's basically a villain from like the first 4 episodes.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how that works out.
Yeah, it's like imagine like playing Metroid 1 where it's like, oh, freaking what's his name? Ridley is like one of the 3 major bosses in the entire game with whom Samus has a personal vendetta against. But then in a later game he's like the opening boss and you take him down quickly.
Yeah, or like Gatana Zoa from Ultraman Tiga, you know, the final boss for that season, you know, the crustacean looking thing. Yeah, imagine if that one, imagine if that was within like the first 4 episodes of Ultraman Omega.
Oh man, that would kill me inside. I still say Ultraman Omega's first episode should literally be a giant meteor hurtling towards Earth. That's like, wait, that's a meteor that was supposed to show up in 100 years. Why is it here? No, in 1,000 years. Why is it here so early?
Yeah, they could do that if Omega's in the same universe as the M78 universe.
Yeah, it still could have been a callback. Like,
Yeah.
you could still say like, oh, you could still say it's a different meteor, but say that it's like, but it is a meteor that was definitely predicted to show up in 3026.
Yeah.
Oh wait, not in Omega, but the season after Omega. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like in the season after Omega, like it doesn't have to be in the same universe as the original Ultraman, but like you could still say like, oh, it was predicted that this meteor would show up in the year 3026, but some miscalculations caused it to return 1,000 years too soon. And that's our opening episode.
They could do that.
Yeah. So Ultraman fights Zeton, and Zeton even has that EM barrier from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Yeah, and yeah, no, like Ultraman is getting strangled by this thing. Like he's pinned down. If this was WrestleMania Grand Championship, like he would not be getting the belt.
Yeah. It gets to the point to where Ultraman tries using the Specium beam at him, and then
It just absorbs and deflects it.
yeah, it basically just sends it right back at him, shattering his color timer.
Yeah, it was very suspenseful. But I still say, like, I wish they timed this episode a little bit better. Maybe by making it a proper two-parter, because in this entire season, we've only ever had one two-part episode.
Yeah, the one with Gomora.
Yeah, and this would have been the perfect opportunity to have one. Yeah, and then Ultraman, while he's dying, is having a flashback of fighting poor, sweet, innocent Jiris. Poor Jiris.
We need to
You
get
should
you.
be fighting, not like this.
We need to get you a figure of Jiris.
And then he fights like some other like some dismembered kaiju, like that flower turtle thing.
I think it was
like,
Dabara.
Yeah, it's like, are all of these kaiju ones that he crippled himself? Yeah, and yeah, Fuji even makes a speech. It kind of undoes Ida's character development 2 episodes ago.
Yeah,
but incidentally, the real Iwamoto happens to have this very special Ultra Bullet. Okay, why didn't you bring that up sooner?
because the plot demands it.
Yeah. So then they shoot. So then they fire it, and kaboom! Green laser. Ba-boom! Zeton chunks everywhere.
Yeah, they're gonna have fried Zeton later.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that, Zuffy shows up.
Yeah. Zafi shows up. The other Ultraman that we barely even knew existed. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna turn myself into an orb.
Yeah, basically he's here to bring Ultraman back to M78, but Ultraman insists,
What the hell
wait.
is that?
Yeah. That was weird.
Yeah, but he tells him, look, if I go, then Hayata will die, and I don't want that to happen.
But if Hayata stays, you will die. And it's like, well, can't you coexist here on Earth?
Yeah, it even gets to the point to where Ultraman says, I've lived for 20,000 years, and Hayata is still young.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Jerry.
Said Zoffy, because like he's just here for the ultras, that anti-human racist.
Well,
Look, I don't know him. Like he might be a great character in a future season of Ultraman, but as speaking from the perspective of a person who's never watched Ultraman, this is the first time watching Ultraman. It's like so far you seem like a like an anti-human racist.
Yeah, he comes off like that, but he really is a very compassionate Ultra, even if he doesn't show it.
Yeah. It's like, it's like Ultras will not replace us. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so Zaki takes Ultraman, and then they do that weird spin thing again. And then they fly off. And for some reason, Hayata shows up completely healthy, but has no memory of anything that happened in the last 38 episodes.
That's
The hell is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because when other Ultra hosts have been separated from their Ultras, they still are fully aware and fully have their memories of being an Ultraman.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because Zoffi had 2 lives with him that he was able to separate them. I don't know.
It makes no sense. And also, like, think about it logistically. It's like, I know that people have been around Hayata interacting with him in the last 38 episodes. This is like 9 months we're talking. Like, in 9 months, like, you have all these people interacting with him. Presumably, Hayata has been captured on video doing stuff. Patty probably took a vacation photo with him. Remember Patty, that SSP member from India?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably don't, but I do. So,
Yeah, I remember her.
You think Hayata's gonna be like, wait, I went on a date with Patty? When? How come I don't remember this? What's going on?
Yeah, Hayata's in for a lot of revelations.
Yeah, it's one thing if he was comatose for the entire 39 months. Sorry, 39 weeks. Like it would have let's say if it was like when Hayata was Hayata, it's not really Hayata in Hayata's body, it's just Ultraman possessing Hayata's body pretending to be Hayata. Like, okay, maybe that might have made sense.
Yeah.
But it was clearly Hayata himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he even knew when to summon Ultraman.
Yeah.
So, what?
I don't know.
All right, look. Okay, so for these episodes, 9, 7, 8.
Yeah, 9, 7, 9.5.
Yeah, all right. All right, now that we've finished the entire season, let's get to the fun part. The less fun part. What are your thoughts on the individual SSP members throughout the series?
I think they're fine. You know, it's the mid 60s. They don't really have much character development, but I will say that Hayata definitely has my respect. He definitely is, you know, I think he was a good role model for kids, and he even showed in the Gomora 2-parter that even though he didn't have the beta capsule, he was still trying to stop Gomora. Like, that dude is brave. You know, kind of like Carter Grayson. Like, even though he can't be Ultraman, he's still gonna fight regardless.
Yeah, I would have to partially disagree with you on that. And I do mean partially, because in some episodes, yes, like, he was goated. He had the whole Carter Grayson tree, which, again, I hate how some characters were giving the certain kids the Heather treatment. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, she's eating monsters. Like, that's probably the second cringiest line in all of Power Rangers.
What's the first? Whenever Izzy opens her mouth?
No, but to be fair, the most cringiest line is cringy because it's hilarious, not because it's stupid. I mean, it's funny because it's stupid. And believe it or not, it's not said by Izzy.
What is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. My friends are in the popcorn and I have to rescue them.
Was that from Ninja Storm?
Yes, it's from Ninja Storm. Oh my god, Ninja Storm is such an underrated season, I swear. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a Jungle Fury guy, but Ninja Storm has the most memorable weird moments, like in the like in that Stamps episode. You got Blake and Hunter being given permission to like use their ninja powers to get to their grandma, like their adopted grandma in the woods. And it's just Capri wearing prosthetics, like really bad prosthetics, like even like the Thunder is like, ugh! And Marge like can't stop laughing like behind the cottage. It's like that. It just completely. It's like, oh man, these actors and their characters, they have this chemistry that like you just don't get in a lot of shows. But yeah, no, it's like yes, like he gets some Carter Grayson moments, but other times he's just so bland and like not even like in the picture. You know, I feel like they put a lot more focus on Fuji and Ide more than on any other characters.
Yeah, I get that. Like, like I mean, at least we know that Fuji likes pearls.
Yeah, just like how certain other characters like lipstick or high-heeled shoes and a low-neck sweater.
Yep.
Yeah, Fuji, there are cheaper hobbies to have, like lipstick and dolphins. Yeah, but all you could think about is Ide. Not even Hayata, like Ide. Ide is no Hori, but despite being the comic relief idiot character, he does pull through on a lot of episodes where, yes, he does invent stuff, and it does end up being helpful, which begs into the question, why did he have that existential crisis in episode 37 to begin with?
I don't know. I mean, the show was obviously very episodic.
Yeah.
So, but that still is a good point. Like, why did he have that existential crisis this late in the game?
Yeah, I feel like that's something that would have worked better on episode 35. When we're fighting Drygiris. Yeah. Yeah. Man, poor Drygiris. I feel bad for him. But Arashi, he has his moments, but other than that, he doesn't really stand out too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like with Arashi, like you said, he has his moments. He can be a little hot-headed sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But he's fine, I guess. I mean, that's all I really can say about him.
Yeah. And then there's Tachibana. As a mentor, he's great. Everything we would expect from Tachibana. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, hopefully in about 5 years he'll start his own racing club.
Indeed.
Because fighting kaiju is very stressful. It's a lot of work. The man needs to relax because he deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Doggy Kruger. He's been through a lot. Alrighty. All right, so thoughts on the kaiju this season?
You can definitely tell at times when they're a reused kaiju. Jiris.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing. I mean, it's obviously they were on a budget. They reused some Ultra Q monsters to make them into monsters for Ultraman. And, I mean, I find it amusing how Jiris is a reused Godzilla suit. Well, 2 reused Godzilla suits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is the closest we've gotten to Ultraman versus Godzilla. Pretty much. But yeah, we've got some good kaiju designs like Jiris, Gomora. Some of them escape me at the moment, but I don't just want to name the iconic ones. I want to name some of the other kaiju in here too.
Yeah,
but I'd say that a lot of them had good designs.
Yeah. Yeah, like obviously Pigmon, like I'm gonna be honest, like way back in the day I didn't care much for Pigmon because let's be honest, I couldn't tell most kaiju apart from each other. But I'd say Pigmon is probably one that grew on me like a lot. And yes, you too, Garamon. I know you're the same costume effectively, but Pigmon is just a cutie wootie, and I love him. Yeah. This year I really like the Boltons because like I've seen Boltons in other seasons, but here it's like they really stood out more. It's like here's like in other seasons the Boltons did not come off as menacing as they did in this season. Considering they were limited with 1966 technology, it's like this is impressive actually.
Yeah.
I hope to see a future season where the Boltons actually do show up and there are more recurring and a legitimate threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Zetons, it's like, yeah, they got that EM barrier thing, but not a fan of the head design. That's like my one complaint about the Zetons. But other than that, I like the concept of them having that EM barriers.
Yeah.
And of course, we got the evil zebra monkey.
Oh yeah, Dada.
Yeah. And just remember, kids, whenever like a space alien insect skunk thing asks you to consensually hand over the Earth to them, just say no.
Oh yeah, like that scene to when it's a dark room and then you just see his eyes and then it lights up and it just shows his whole body. Yeah, that's not terrifying to a child.
Yeah. It's like, sure, nothing bad will happen if you hand over the keys to your planet.
Again, this kid is not a politician, nor does he have a position of power. How can he hand over the planet?
He's not even a Time Lord.
No.
It's like freaking, at least the Doctor, like he didn't ask to become the president of the planet, but it's a thing that they did establish where at a time of severe crisis, all political power of the entire planet is handed over to the Doctor.
Yeah.
I just wish he didn't hand that power over to freaking Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I did not feel bad for her when she turned into Mondasian Cyberman. Mm-hmm. In fact, I'm surprised they even went back to Mondas. But Missy, being the badass that she is, and yes, even in that flight attendant TV show with Kelly Coco, and in Gotham, she still killed it. Alright, so as an entire season, what were your thoughts? And
well, it's a show from the mid-'60s. It's definitely episodic. Like I could see, on one hand, I could see it people wanting a like 2 or 3-parter or for the finale, like some build up to it. But at the same time, like it was a weekly show. They wanted it to be episodic. So I can see both sides of the arguments.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got some fantastic practical effects, like fantastic miniatures. The Ultraman suit looks great. They've got some good kaiju designs. Overall, I give it a 9 out of 10. It's an enjoyable show.
Yeah, for me, it's like I agree with you on the practical effects. I like one of my favorite things about watching the episodes was less about the plot and more about like watching how they made the effects, like where did they like film each layer of the shot and like how they like impose over them to make things look the way they did, like that scene when Ultraman like puts Tachibana down on the ground while the Dada is attacking the building.
Yeah,
like, that was interesting. Like you had like 3 layers to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like watching like miniature buildings in excruciating detail get destroyed. That was also really fun. Having tiny toy tanks with flamethrowers, fantastic. It's like watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 all over again. You know when Neji Mora uses Bad Company. Yeah, so that was like really fun. Plot wise, yeah, I'm more on the side of I'm not as big of a fan of the episodic nature. Like we actually discussed this a bit in Tiga. Tiga definitely felt less episodic, but I think that's also why episode 37 was a lot stronger because it actually called back to past episodes in a way that was actually cohesive. It's like this. Right now, I just started watching How I Met Your Mother, and I'm already on the 2nd season, and I'm still not seeing much reason as to like why he went all the way back to 2005 when he just met Robin. It's like so far I'm seeing no reason why I can't just skip to when he actually met the David Henry's and that other girl's mother. You know, it's like I like things being more what's called continuous. A little bit of one-offing, but mostly an overarching story. Like I would have to say Kamen Rider Build had the right idea where it's like you have a little bit of episodicness at the beginning, but then you have overarching arcs which were like this major thing happened over the course of 6 episodes, and this major thing happened over the course of 6 episodes up until it's like, okay, now everything's coming together. And then you have that stupid episode where like you're just trying to shamelessly promote the summer film, which the events of which will never be referenced in the remaining 4 episodes.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, so as a whole, and again, Ide and Tachibana stood out more than the other characters. Fuji, stood out a little bit more than Arashi and Hayata. But yeah, no, Hayata had those Carter Grayson moments that puts him above Arashi. So thankfully, Hayata's not the most boring character to me. But at least, like, when he needs to clutch, he can clutch. That Carter Grayson moment. But, you know, I think that, like, one of the biggest issues is the episodic nature where, like, they don't give the characters time to, like, really develop as characters. Because they're more focused on resetting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, unfortunately, I have to give the season an 8, like, low 8 out of 10. So, yeah. I have to say this season was mid. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry. But, you know, in its defense, it is the very first season of Ultraman, not the first season of the Ultra franchise. I like that concept where it's like Ultra Question, Ultraman, Ultra 7. Maybe you could have called it Ultra Return. And then Ultra Ace, Ultra Leo, Ultra Taro, Ultra 80, Ultra Tiga, Ultra Dyna, Ultra Gaia.
Yeah, well, they were going to call Ultraman Ace Ultra Ace, but that name apparently was already copyrighted.
Yeah. 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 Even Ultraman itself is a copyrighted name for like other things other than, Tsuburaya's thing. But
Yeah.
that's also why I hate that like Puffy, the Japanese band, had to change their name while touring in the US because of a certain individual threatened to sue them
Mhm.
if they didn't make those changes.
Yeah.
Which is a darn shame. They had a really great song with the Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that meme from I think it was Criminal Minds, where it's like you have these characters in a church where it's like where this agent is like holding a suspect with a gun from behind, but then he has his own assassin holding her at gunpoint. But then that agent has a sniper in the balcony. So it's like knowing Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra from the Summer Olympics, knowing Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra from Kamen Rider, knowing them from Puffy, knowing them from the 80s. Yeah. But yeah, so those are our thoughts on the season as a whole. What did you people have to say? Tanaka Rukata. Hello. First time commenter, I'm guessing. Wow, that looks like Kamen Rider Saber crossed with Bleach looking thing. Yeah, hi guys, how you doing?
Hello.
Triple O Tracy, I'm so happy you finished 1966.
Yep.
Yeah, we're finally done. Now I would just have to sit through 40 episodes of Kamen Rider and we'll be done with that too. 40 more episodes. What season will you do next?
Should you say it or should I?
Well, you have the physical copy, so...
The next season we're going to do is Ultraman Z.
That's right. We're jumping way into the Reiwa era.
Yep.
With Ultraman Z, who is allegedly an apprentice of Ultraman Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't wait to discuss it, and we will begin that next week.
It's a season that neither of us have seen, so it'll be fresh to us.
Yes, we will be on equal footing for once. Well, most equal footing. He still has the high ground.
I have the high ground.
You underestimate my Ultra.
Don't try it. Yeah, just does what Zeton does and just shoots it back at you.
I Ultra you. I like that Bolton. I like the Boltons, and I love your comparison to them with these Abesian pirates. Yeah, Sabesians. Very fun to murk, especially in Mega Man Zero Mission. Nah, not Mega Man. Metroid Zero Mission. When you finally unlock the gravity suit, you're just murking them left and right, and it is incredibly fun. After having to sneak around in your Zero suit. Yeah, a lot of zeros in here.
Yeah.
I swear, like, the way that soundtrack hits when you get spotted, like, it really, like, spikes your adrenaline level. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it for the comments, guys. Thank you, everyone, one and all, for sitting through our entire Ultraman franchise with us. Well, not the entire franchise. I mean, like, the very first Ultraman, which is the second season of the franchise.
Yep, another season down.
Another season down. And we have time to do Z before we start Omega, which means compared to last year, we completed one more season than we expected to.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year we were only able to get Tiga and Rube done, but this year we got X, we got 66, and we're about to get Z. So, like, he got some decent progress in. That's what, 5 plus. That's 8 seasons out of 35 right there.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about Zet, so I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, like if things seem a little too overwhelming, remember that the 2 Australian seasons are 13 episodes each. The 2 seasons of Mega Monster Battle are also 13 episodes each. And 2 seasons of Ginga are also 13 episodes each. So those 6 seasons are like, they should not be too difficult to just get out of
you're
the
close
way.
with Ginga. The first season of Ginga was 11, and Ginga S was 16.
Yeah, so it's still 27, but
Yeah.
it's still relative. But it's still 2 seasons for the price of half a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those 6 seasons, like they should not be too difficult. And I think there's at least one more season that's just like 13 or 14 episodes.
Neos.
Yeah, Neos. So having to do another 20 something more seasons may seem overwhelming at the moment, but trust us, we'll get through them. We'll get through them. And depending on our pacing, heck, we might finish in 7 years or so.
Maybe.
Yeah, we got 7 years worth of content. We'll be done by the 2030s. And Ultraman will still be going.
Yep.
Yeah. Same thing with Kamen Rider. Like by 2032 or 2033, we'll be done with everything from the first 2 generations. So then with both of these 2 shows, we're just gonna do all the movies and stuff, like Ultra Galaxy Fight and Zero, the Great Conspiracy. I know I'm saying the title wrong. All that stuff, and yeah, who knows?
Alrighty.
Eventually, maybe we'll actually get started on doing older seasons of Super Sentai.
Or maybe even Metal Hero.
Yeah. And maybe other miscellaneous tokusatsu like Genseikin or Ryukendo
Or Kikaider.
or Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. I definitely want to do Sailor Moon. They actually did Minako justice in this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. Well, on Mondays we are going to get started with Ultraman Z, and followed by Wednesdays where we do Kamen Rider Gav. Thursdays, number 1 Sentai Go Juger. Hold on, let me do that one more time. Number 1 Sentai Go Juger, and on Sundays we do Kamen Rider Classic. We still have half the season left to go through. Well, a little less than half left, but still, it's still a ways to go. So, buckle up.
Yep.
All right. Hopefully we get an easy season after that, like Amazon. Like low-key, I kind of want Amazon next because it's only 24 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we are uploading shorts for the series Gundam GQX, and also new episode of GQX is going to air on Amazon Prime tomorrow. If you want to say hi to us in person, you can find us at Pasadena Comic Con May 24th at the Pasadena Convention Center, and at Robo Toy Fest on June 8th at the Burbank Marriott. I know that there's some conventions that you're going to be participating at.
Yeah, G-Fest, which will be in Chicago, Illinois at the Hyatt, July 11th through the 13th.
Yes, and also a shout out to one of our sponsors, Ranger Stop and Pop, which are having their final show on June 13th through the 15th in Atlanta, Georgia at the Omni Hotel. They're gonna be featuring all 6 Rangers from Mystic Force. So if you have the means to fly to Atlanta or already live there, definitely go there to check it out. These are the shows that we're gonna be attending in the near future. Don't hesitate to say hi to all of us. We love you guys, and hopefully, we will remember your names for when we shout you out in the podcast episodes following the actual conventions. Yeah, because we love you guys. We really do. You keep the power running on our channel, and where would we be without you fans supporting us for the past 20? No, not 20. For the past 7 years. Can you imagine if we were there for 20 years? That's when YouTube started.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always podcasting time for the tokusatsu shows. So if you want to follow us on our personal content, where can the people find you?
You can find me at youtube.com, Axel Ranger.
You can find me on Instagram at Bogan_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BoganKabuto. With all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to stay safe, stay hydrated, up the emergency kits, hug your loved ones, and we will see you again real soon. Can't wait for Ultraman Z next week. Have a good one. Bye.
Shawak.